World Cup group stage explained in 7 minutes. The 2026 World Cup starts in 3 days. And if this is your first time watching, welcome. Genuinely. This is the biggest sporting event on the planet, and you picked a great year to start. But before the football begins, you need to understand how it works. Because the World Cup is not just knockout matches from the start. There's a whole first stage, called the group stage, that decides who even gets to play in the real knockout rounds. And if you do not understand the group stage, you will spend the first 3 weeks confused about why teams are playing and what actually matters. So here is everything you need to know. Simple, clear, no jargon. Start with the basics. 48 countries qualified for this World Cup. 48 teams from every corner of the planet, all with one goal: winning the trophy on July 19th in New Jersey. But you cannot just put 48 teams straight into a knockout tournament. That would be chaos. So FIFA splits them into groups first. There are 12 groups, groups A through L. Each group has 4 teams in it. 4 times 12 is 48, every team accounted for. Now here is how the group stage works. Every team in a group plays against every other team in that group once. So if you are in a group with 3 other teams, you play 3 matches. That is it. 3 matches to prove you belong at this tournament. The scoring system is simple. Win a match, you get 3 points. Draw a match, both teams get 1 point each. Lose a match, you get 0 points. After all 3 matches are played in a group, the teams are ranked by how many points they collected. And here is the key question. How many teams from each group advance to the knockout rounds? The top 2 teams from each group automatically progress. First place and second place in every group, they are through. Gone. Safe. On to the next stage. But here is where 2026 gets different from previous World Cups. Because of the expanded format with 48 teams, FIFA added an extra rule. The 8 best third-place teams from across all 12 groups also advance. So coming third in your group does not automatically send you home. If your third-place finish was good enough compared to the other third-place teams around the tournament, you can still go through. In total, 32 teams make it out of the group stage. 32 teams go through to the knockout rounds. 16 teams go home after the group stage having played 3 matches and not done enough. Now let's talk about what separates teams when the points are equal. Because this happens all the time. 2 teams finish on the same points. Who goes through? First tiebreaker, goal difference. You take every goal you scored and subtract every goal you conceded across your 3 matches. If you scored 5 goals and conceded 2, your goal difference is +3. The team with the better goal difference ranks higher. If goal difference is also equal, the next tiebreaker is goals scored. The team that scored more total goals across the group stage ranks higher. And if that is still equal, and this does happen, FIFA goes to other criteria including head-to-head results between the tied teams, and ultimately, if everything is identical, a drawing of lots. Which is exactly as dramatic as it sounds. This is why you will sometimes see a team hammering a weak opponent by 5 or 6 goals at the end of the group stage. They are not being disrespectful. They are chasing goal difference because they know another team on the same points might have a better record. Every single goal matters. A team that wins their final group match 4-0 instead of 1-0 might be the difference between advancing in first place or going home as a third-place team that was not quite good enough. Now let's talk about what the groups actually look like at this World Cup. Each group has a favorite, usually 1 or 2 big nations who are expected to go through, and then 2 or 3 teams who are fighting for survival. Take Group J as an example. Argentina, the defending world champions, are in there with Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Argentina are expected to win that group, but Algeria have real quality. Austria are organized and difficult to beat, and Jordan are making their first ever World Cup appearance, so they have absolutely nothing to lose. Every match in that group matters for 3 of the 4 teams. Or take Group H. Spain, the world #1 ranked team, are in there with Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde, also making their World Cup debut. Spain are heavy favorites, but Uruguay under their manager Marcelo Bielsa are dangerous, physical, and never easy. The match between Spain and Uruguay on June 27th in Guadalajara could decide who tops the group. And that matters, because the team that finishes first gets a more favorable path through the knockout rounds. Which brings us to the final thing you need to understand. First place is always better than second place. When the group stage ends and the bracket for the knockout rounds is set, the team that finished first in their group is paired against the team that finished second in a different group. And in this tournament, because of the seeding system FIFA designed, the teams that win their groups get a protected path, meaning they avoid the other big nations until the later rounds. If Argentina win Group J and Spain win Group H, the bracket is designed so those two teams cannot meet until the final on July 19th. But if one of them finishes second, that protection disappears. They could end up on the same side of the bracket and face each other much earlier. So winning the group is not just about pride. It is about survival. It is about controlling your own destiny in the knockout rounds. That is the group stage. 12 groups, 4 teams in each, 3 matches per team. Top 2 go through automatically. 8 best third-place teams also go through. 32 teams advance. Points, then goal difference, then goals scored decides the ranking. The group stage of the 2026 World Cup runs from June 11th to June 27th. 16 days of football. 4 matches every single day at its peak. Countries that have waited years for this moment. Players who have spent their entire careers preparing for 3 games. Now you know how it works. Enjoy every second of it.